Hey guys, it's nice to be simming again. So, how did we get here? Let it be known, I've been following Paralives ever since the beginning of the game when it was announced, when I happened to come across it on YouTube. And let's just say they have had a lot of progress up until now. But I think we need to understand more before we get into this game, especially where it came from. So as of the time I'm recording this, just today, Paralives launched a new video about live mode, and boy were we in for a lot. We learned so much, everything from personality systems, to new businesses, to the world, to interactions, and so much more. Not to mention we learned that the game is coming out into early access in 2025. Also, no paid for DLC, everything will be free updates. But how did we get here? That's why I'm here today. We're going to be doing a deep dive into Paralives. Let's start from the beginning. So, if you want to learn anything about what I'm using, it is actually from the Paralives website. Just simply search Paralives in any search engine, you will come up with their website, paralives.com. But they have a specific development map section that literally goes back to when the first game idea came out to all the way up to now. So this started back in 2019 when Alex Massey quit his job in order to work towards a new game, specifically a life simulator. Now let it be known, we didn't know much about this game. But the first few videos came out on their YouTube channel about ideas they had back in June 30th of 2019. It started with one video, this one playing right now. It was a very short video, and this was the first one I was exposed to. What was interesting about this video is it showed off something very simple, windows and curtains. Now, let it be known, a lot of us life simmers have already been experienced to those systems, as we've seen them in many games that include it because windows are kind of a basic thing of building. But what we didn't know that Paralives was developing is the ability to use stretch and shrink objects. Basically, multiple objects, both furniture, windows, doors, and many more, can be stretched and shrunk to a size that of your heart's content. And personally, I thought that was a very good way to start off showing what the game is capable of. It wouldn't be till a little later in 2019 where we would get some more videos representing more about this game and learning more. Now let it be known, this game is in early development. There has been multiple changes, especially to the art style by this point. The next video we saw was simply how the tools in game work with building homes. We saw how there would be curved walls and platforms and really just an easier way of building. Shortly after that, we were introduced to the lot tool, which is where you get to design lots, which automatically confirmed that we'd be possibly seeing the ability to create towns. Now let it be known, in the base game there's going to be only one town, and already, I'm really excited to see what this community has to hold. Let it be known, as they did this series, there were several Discord discussions. Yes, they do have a Discord, but they have several Discord discussions. Each discussion showing off, basically, ideas that people had to generate off of. And it was very interesting. 2019 was basically the year of introducing Paralives. We even got even more videos, including one that showed off right here. Just a bed, a very simple bed, but again, it showed off that stacking and shrinking object system that was very unique, especially developing bunk beds. This was a very unique system as I really liked the idea of being able to adjust things to the way I wanted them. And I thought it was a very creative system. Here's where it got exciting. October 2019 is where we started seeing things that a lot of life simulators that are more like Sims do not have in the base game. They have announced that seasons, weather, and holidays will be in base game, as represented by the image here, which is of a house during Halloween. We even got wind, house numbers, and so much more detail. They even hired Leah, which I think I actually talked to her at one point. Okay. Little story. So Paralives is always asking their fans, or at least people who are excited for the game, to tell them about ideas that they have for it. A while ago, they asked a lot about representation, whether that was Indigenous peoples, LGBTQ+, and disabled and disordered. The thing was, I didn't really get into social media at the time, so I was lame and went to their website and used their email to contact them. And I believe it was Leah, at least I'm pretty sure it was. When I contacted them, I told them about the idea of sensory processing disorder and the whole idea of, like, don't forget physical, developmental, mental, and neurodivergent. And believe it or not, they got back to me. Now, I can't find the email because, let it be known, I don't delete my emails, so that inbox is full. But I remember them. Not only did they send an email back to me, but it was a personalized email as well. So, hey, Paralives developers, if you're watching this video, thank you for responding to me, and I can't wait to play your game. I'm also on YouTube now, so hi! Sorry, but that made me really happy because it shows how much these developers care about their game, and they really enjoy it. And honestly, I would never expect a very popular video game developer, indie or not, to literally get back to me that way. it was really nice, and it definitely shows that you should give this game a chance when it does come out. The last few things we saw in Paralives were the ability to change some of the furniture. So we saw the color wheel patterns when this video got released. We also got to see off cars, which are going to be a base game. Now let it be known, a lot got announced for the base game. Everything from cars to pets to weather to so much more. The list goes on so long, I could not say it. But at this point, we got introduced to those new features, being able to color things. Also, light features. Now that was a really cool video. After that, we got to see a really cool feature as well. Now this is a Christmas time video, obviously referencing time, and we can see the snow and the beautiful Christmas style. But what was very interesting about this video is that they had stockings on the chimney and customizable text, which I'm really excited for. You can simply type the text on something and it will appear. These stockings each have names on them, and I personally love that way to be able to do that. It was amazing. So now we get into 2020. Oh boy, 2020. Rough year for all of us, but great year for Paralives. So what we got to see is there were some videos that showed off the Paramaker. The Paramaker started its development. Now, you know how in The Sims we have Create a Sim? Well, in Paralives they have the Paramaker, and all the people are called Paras. Obviously, Paralives. Honestly, I think they got the name Paralives from the term pair of lives, which honestly is kind of unique when you think about it. Definitely seeing more cozy vibes with this game, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, again, we saw Paralives with the ability to customize colors, again with the color wheel, showing how that color wheel won't just be used in build mode, it will be used in the Paramaker as well, which is very good. I'm very happy that they are thinking about stuff like that. So, around summer of 2020, late spring, we got some real big stuff for Paralives. First off, we got Maggie's Loft. Now, Maggie was the first ever para that we were introduced to, being an astrological liking para. We got to see her loft, the apartment she lives in, and it was very beautiful. We got to learn so much about it, even things such as the height slider was being built. Yes, there is a height slider in this game. They are making this game very unique. Now, May of 2020 was probably the biggest time for Paralives up until now. May of 2020 was the... Now, let it be known, as of now, we've only seen the Paramaker and the build mode for the game, along with the world and any other features they wanted to advertise. But there's one thing we never got to see. The Paras. I tuned into this video live, and you should have seen my face get so happy seeing Maggie. Now, let it be known, Paras look extremely different now, but this still shows off a lot. Not only did this video show off hair and clothing physics, but it showed off part of the Paramaker, which would definitely get some changes later. But this was an astonishing, an amazing release that they did. And the community was so excited, and everything was only to get better from here. We started to get introduced into mods in the game. The game will be completely moddable, like they will be completely mod friendly. I was very excited to hear that. Now let me know, I'm not a guy who works with mods often, and I don't really like using mods because I always worry about things, but it's just not me. But I am excited for those who do like mods and use them. So they showed off simply day and night cycle change. Very simple, and the lighthouse that exists within the world. But what's really cool is that with these mods, you can get like a Doge head moon or even 2 suns. It's really cool in my mind. It's very small. That's what seems to be what Paralives is about. The small things being big impactors. Now, around July 2020, this is when we started seeing even more information coming out. We got to see our second ever para, Sebastian. Sebastian actually has some lore behind him as well. We got to see his apartment, a little bit of his life, zip lines. Oh man, was that fun. We got to see a little bit more of the Paramaker, but specifically with Sebastian is a story that his husband died, and now he takes care of his son and hopes to maybe start a business one day. He may even have some secrets. We did see that secret bookshelf. But again, it addresses not only another para within the universe, but also the idea of lore that exists within the game. And again, people are really excited for it. So we even got to see things such as being able to remove shoes off before going to the house, fridge magnets, so much minor, being able to sit on a counter for crying out loud. So much minor detail that people are just gonna be super excited for when this game releases. Later in August of 2020, we eventually were revealed with main customizations such as first name, last name, middle initials, pronouns, you can name it, pretty much everything. Not really much there other than just being able to see that. Now, not much happened in terms of showing off things in general. It was more just stuff behind the scenes that if you wanted to know about, you could have went to the Paralives developer website. But it wasn't until December 2020 when we got a huge update. First off, the Paras got a whole new look, complementing more of a cartoony but cozy color, which honestly fits the game vibes very well. we got to be introduced to Maggie once again, new and improved Maggie, but we also got to see something even better. Now, as you know, in Sims games, you could have a shirt jacket combo. Normally, you would not be able to separate those two, but in Paralives, you can literally select multiple portions, including mismatched socks, layering clothing. It is astonishing. And honestly, such a small detail that I'm super excited for when the game actually releases. And again, shows off that Christmas situation. The next big release we would have seen was in March of 2021. So this big thing was we got to see photos on the wall. Now it's interesting because they stated that photos would be able to be imported into the game and you can hang them on the wall, which is very fun. I'm happy to see, like, hopefully we can take screenshots of our paras and be able to convert those into photos. But it's also, again, that whole situation of being able to adjust, pull, and stretch and shrink photos to the size that you want your photos to be. And I really think that was a really great thing. I love seeing that they keep bringing this idea of creativity and being able to customize things to your heart's content. It really shows that they have passion, that they want to put out a good product. Even if it is in early access, they still have the skeleton that they want. Here's where things got interesting. Now, we've obviously seen parts of the Paramaker, but we haven't seen much detail either of the Paramaker, build by mode, I'm calling it build by, or live/live mode. Please argue in the comments if it's live/live mode. I've heard people say both. Personally, I think it's live mode, but we'll see what happens. But we got to see build mode here. They built an entire house in a long length video, and it was amazing. We got to see all the curved walls, how furniture is placed, how it works, and honestly, it was really cool. Even though we didn't get to see how the roof was built, but we got to see how cool it was, especially with new UI, day and month of the week, everything. Even how they developed that kind of postcard-esque vibe. It's really cool, and it's all welcomed with open arms. Not much came up until the end of 2021, which is when we began seeing videos on the Paramaker. Not only do we have things such as, what is it called? Not only see things as heterochromia, where paras can have different eye colors, but I also got to see other body types and how the Paramaker works. But we won't get much of an update until December 2021, and into 2022 January, where we got to see a full video of the Paramaker. Mostly just the clothes and developing characters, but we also got to be introduced to Marvin, our newest para and townie that's going to be in the game. And honestly, I love all these characters. I can't wait to make my para and have them meet them all because they look so cool and I like them. But what's really cool is they got to showcase things like the music, show how the sliders work, and really show the adjustable system that you have to make your para in the way you want. Not to mention, we got shown at the last minute Sebastian's child, showing that how children work in the game as well. It made my heart melt just seeing that. And it's just, they really dedicated their time making this game, and it's gonna only get better as they improve further. Wow, I can't believe we're already 15 minutes in now. I've already talked about a good amount of the development. We'll keep going. Paralives has been showing off bugs and glitches just to be like, haha, very funny. And they are silly. Like, I remember seeing quite a few. You could literally go to their YouTube page. Maybe I'll show off a few here from their posts, but you can literally go to their YouTube page and see these. And these are, oh my gosh, I just love that they're having a fun time with this game. And let it be known, they've been working on this for so long, ever since 2019, and we're now in 2024. But we're not stopping here. Right around May 2022 is when they started showing off another video, which showed off just some basic animations, such as characters being worried, how they walk and run, sneezing, stuff like that. They also take into consideration what people have to say about them, in case there's anything they can improve on. Let it be known that's still a problem nowadays, but I've seen a lot more developers considering what their fans want, because let's face it, we're the people who play the game, we should have some sort of say in helping out. And honestly, when developers listen to us, and at least show that they are listening, it's very helpful in knowing that it's a good game. Right when we got about to August or September 2022, this is when we started seeing more things, such as the paras kind of in their world. We saw how needs work. Now what's really cool is, like unlike the Sims franchise, when you would rack up needs, you really had to cancel one before you can introduce a new one if you want your sim to do something. In Paralives, it's different. Your para will queue up needs, but you can simply click one and drag it to a different position in the queue line, which honestly is a much more better than the Sims 4 system in my opinion, because it gives you more free will and freedom over how to design what you want your para to do, especially when they're not taking care of themselves. 2023. But Paralives up until now has been slowly, gradually gaining information. When it got to 2023, it went boom. Yeah, I know I'm using "boof" as a term, but it literally skyrocketed into the heavens because it just, all this stuff came out. First off, in January, we got the first ever Paralives soundtrack video. Now, I can't play it because copyright. Y'all love that, huh? But anyway, we got to see our first listen to the soundtrack, and it's very cozy. It gives me like Stardew Valley vibes, Coral Island, stuff like that. And it makes you really feel comfortable, which in reality, The Sims has all been about playing with life and maybe embracing a little bit of the chaos, where Paralives is more like live what you want and tell your story, but and keeping it cozy and calm while still managing to be a very, I'd say, chaotic life simulator. Because like I said, I want to see what kind of crazy stuff you can do with this game. Again, the development didn't stop here. 2023, we got to see the first ever completely built Parafolk house. And it looked so good. The details were there. Everything from the grass growing alongside to mailboxes to bicycles to the chimney to the couch. Even more exposure to the soundtrack. This soundtrack makes me so happy. Like, for some reason, I feel energetic, even though it's really calming. I really just kept enjoying every single bit of information we got about Paralives. Every time I get a new thing, I'm like, I gotta talk about that. I gotta cover that. I gotta do everything I can to tell everybody about this game. And I did. And the problem was, a lot of people, pretty much at this point, were falling off of the game because people were like, it's probably not going to be released for like thousands of years. Let that known, that's a hyperbole. But a lot of people were just worried about that, so they kind of fell off at the game. Let it be known, 2024 is the most active Paralives year we've had. Now, for 2023, again, when we got to March, we got to see pictures of the food in-game, which honestly, oh my gosh. It's late 5 p.m. on the day the live mode video came out, and looking at these pictures of food is only making me starving. I'm really hungry now. We got to see more pictures of the food, including multiple types, and it's just making me hungry. They look so good. Like, Sims 4 would never. No hate to the Sims 4, but yeah, you guys need to step up your food graphics. But lastly, let it be known, obviously in the Sims we have Simlish, their native language of the world. Well, in Paralives they're called Parali. Again, it's kind of like the whole idea of using P as like an acronym, and if you listen to their language, you can definitely hear emphasis on P, like a lot of different words. You can even see how they react differently depending on the situation, because conversations can be very romantic, they can be embarrassing, they can be fun, they can be mean. It's really cool to see how there's like that different escalation in voice. Now, let it be known, let it be known, Paralives does have a Patreon. You can support them. I am not a part of it, so I didn't get to see half of this stuff, but one of the things they did announce was how children are looking, how they look. Now, one thing I do not know the detail of yet, and I'm hoping they eventually tell us about this, is the aging system in game. Parafolk are determined to age, just like the Sims, but it's unknown if they are going to do it through life stages or if they're going to do it gradually. Now, let it be known, a lot of people are excited, hoping that it'll be gradual. For those of you who don't know, gradual aging is simply your character gets taller over time and eventually starts getting gray hair and wrinkles, like, gradual aging. But again, it is unknown what's going to happen with that. We'll just have to see with due time. Now, from June to January of 2023 to 2024, this is when we started seeing mostly just post after post after post after post. This was mostly post of postcards they have created, homes that they have designed, new furniture, new clothes, all kinds of stuff. And that's mostly what we've been seeing at the time. And everybody kept asking, like, where is live mode? When are we going to learn about that? And a lot of people are under the impression that we wouldn't get much. So we're now up here, the day and the best day in Paralives history. Let's officially talk about the trailer. Today was the official day Paralives released their first ever live mode and gameplay trailer. And oh my gosh, it showed so much in such little time. The first thing we got to see is the personality system. With this personality system, which I'm guessing Aisha is going to be one, or is it Anissa? Anissa? Tell me how to pronounce that. But we got to see what's most likely going to be another pair in the game. But what's really cool is this is their personality system. Now, it's interesting because I can see all kinds of categories. Obviously, the first part reminds me very Sims 1, Sims 2-esque, where you contribute points to certain character traits that your para is good with. These traits being physique, mind, creativity, and charisma. Now, let it be known, these personalities seem to be playing a big role in the game, and my guess is they'll definitely update this over time to have more detail to it, because this is definitely probably going to be what we see in early access, but not complete what we want. We can also see things such as, I don't know what the music tab is for, but we can see like the family tree, genetics, and stuff like that up in the upper right. We can also see appearance, clothing, and personality, the 3 categories. Well, other things is they have vibe, social perk, talent, and then any lifestyles you want your para to have. So there is a total as of right now. It is unknown if they will add more, and I'm guessing, knowing Paralives, knowing the developers, there's a high chance they'll add more. As of right now, it looks like there is 8 different vibes that your character could have. Honestly, the word vibes and the idea of vibes fits this game very well. I think it's a really good idea, and I like it. But they are overjoyed, grumpy, gloomy, energetic, studious, anxious, peaceful, and jester. And obviously, I'm guessing these will play big roles in your character's life. Next up, we have social perk. Now, about these social perks is simply, where does your para excel in social ability? And I do like how it's broken down into multiple categories. I think this is really good because, well, everybody has a social perk. For example, I'm really good at being nice to people. I'm good at making friends easily. Like, that's what I would say about me. But the options are good at being alone, good at making friends, good at taking care of others, good at romantic relationships, good at family, and good at cooperation. Again, I believe that all of this is going to be some sort of way to build off of each other and help your para more develop their own personality, even impact the world around them. We'll get into this more later, but don't worry, talent doesn't refer to the only skills that are in game. We'll get into that later. But the talent are simply, what is your para good at or not good at? Let it be known. There is jack of all trades, which basically I'm guessing means your para is good at a little bit of everything. There's music, fitness, food, technology, visual arts, and also good at nothing. Giving yourself that challenge if your para is just not the best person when it comes to talent. But also, they didn't look more into this. What I find really interesting is that there are 3 lifestyles your para can look into, and that is if they're a vegetarian or not, what is their sleeping habits, which I really am curious about what that plays into, and what is their cleaning habits, also really curious about what those play into. And it's very fascinating in my mind to understand why is it that they chose to do this, and it's very cool. What's interesting here is we can see that there's a notification system similar to The Sims, but again we can see where a character selector is, time of day, how fast the game mode is. I can see a screen capture button, how to look at houses, and there's also multiple tabs too up top, which honestly it looks very appealing. I like it that way. That way probably I'm not blocking anything, but the notification tab looks like postcards and it looks like actual mail, and I love that. But what's interesting here is that sneezing effect, but we can see that the house is very messy, as in she's just moving in and getting things figured out. Here's what it seems that mail is going to look like. For example, here's bills. We can see municipal taxes, electricity, and unemployment benefits. Honestly, I didn't even notice the unemployment benefits up until now, but we can also see how the months are going to work. My guess, by the looks of it, saying it's Monday, spring 29, my guess is it's probably going to be a 30 or 31 day season for all 4 seasons. So each season probably lasts 31 days, and they each are, or a certain amount of number, and they're each split up into a week. So Monday through Sunday, like that. What's also interesting is you can see she reacts like, oh no, I can't pay my bills, like that's a problem. It definitely seems like your paras are going to react to the world around them naturally. And one of those things being like concern, like, oh no, I can't pay my bills, or things like maybe seeing 2 paras break up in the area. Maybe like, oh no, that's bad. Like, I like that. Rather than what we see in The Sims where somebody shouts forbidden words, they're like, oh, react very late. Now we got to see the first ever downtown area. This is the cafe called Cream. And honestly, it's really cool how the jobs work. So we can see here that in order to get a job, she goes to the cafe and clicks on the hiring option, where you can see not just 1, but 3 different job offers. However, they each require that you have application points. That's interesting. I want to learn more about that. But we can see there's a barista, cook, and general manager position, each having higher pay depending on the situation. My guess you also have to have skills based off that. So you're probably going to have some good cooking skills if you want to be a barista. As you can see here, like I said, you need skills in certain points. So you need good food knowledge, you need to know good about cooking, and you need to have customer service. And it looks like you have to have those in order to get application points. Application points, and that's something I really like. In The Sims, you can only get a job. In The Sims, you want any job, go right ahead. But it looks like in Paralives, it's going to be you need at least enough to get enough application points in order to get a job, which I'm guessing builds off again skills, how you work with people, and many more. Also, there's this notification here where if your character upgrades a skill, gets a job, and many more, there'll be a small pop-up like this and it'll fade away. Honestly, I like that. Rather than in The Sims 4 where you have to look up in the upper right corner, it's right there for you to see. We have skipped to Wednesday now, and there's that notification again. Obviously right here saying Anissa earned $150 at work today and got an upgrade point to spend. Yeah, believe it or not, you get upgrade points in this game. She's really confident, but as you can see, you can upgrade your job. Basically meaning you get in a rank, get better pay, and things like that. You can even get extras. So as you can see here, she can get better customer service, which basically allows her to get a better performing job eventually. And it shows even pay increase. She can get a better job rank, but she can also gain skills at work. By selecting listen to music while working, she'll be gaining some extra music knowledge skill while at work. Again, this shows off one of those skills. We can see that guitar appear. But what's interesting is what I want more to talk about is the wants in the lower corner. We can see here that she says, I could use a shower or bath, obviously referencing that your pair will tell you if their needs are low. Hopefully there's a way we can see those needs. I'm guessing under profile we'll be able to see needs. We can see, I want to do something fun. I want to play guitar. I want to make a new friend. And it looks like these are like tasks. Like it's here. I'm not sure if you can select these, but it seems like your pair is going to be like, hey, I kind of want to do this. Can you make that happen for me? And I really like it. Now, let it be known, I have shown in the channel before the piano skill, which obviously right here you can see how it works. Like I said, there's two categories for skill. There's a main category, and then there are subcategories. The main category is music, but then there's subcategories like guitar, piano, and many more. Obviously, you can improve your music knowledge, food knowledge, technology knowledge, depending on what section you are working on. And again, it's really good, and you can see the needs in the bottom right left corner about how those work. And I think it's really cool. See, there's multiple types of skills, and you can see they break down into few more skills, which again is interesting. Another work day for her. You can see she's yawning simply as a reaction, kind of like how there's the sneeze in game as well, which I really like the idea of like your parents just doing stuff every once in a while just to be like, I'm still alive here. Hello. Here comes something interesting. You can see Anise here is walking by two paras here, one playing guitar and one talking. If you want to have an interaction, you can click and drag a box and it'll select multiple paras. And you can literally click just a simple option of, and as you can see, they begin talking. Now what's interesting is there's a social bar in the bottom corner. Unlike The Sims where you have to select multiple conversation topics and it could get tedious, they automatically just start talking. But once that bar fills, you can select a conversation topic specifically. And it's even related to a certain situation, such as, she's new in town. Of course she's going to ask for introduce herself as being new. She could talk about her skill, compliment guitar technique, or formal introduction. And you could see them tying into her vibe. Serious. That's why she wants to do a formal introduction. She's only complimenting a car because she has skill, but why is it green as that chain? Well, certain ones will tell you how they'll impact other people. If you click that one, you can see on the side, it makes you have a more friendly interaction with them, and they become acquaintances, which I really like that. I'm guessing you unlock by doing that more often. And even better, you can just simply, as we already have them all selected, why don't we just walk inside? I love it. It takes 1 hour for the bar to fill up, and then you can start asking more conversation topics. Let's look at these next ones. Again, we can see share coffee recommendations, her job, ask about career, learn more about paras, or talk about music. Again, that talent. And as you can see, we got 2 other jobs that are in the game. Obviously, we learned about 3 of them already: barista, music composer, and programmer. Which again, I think is very interesting. Now let it be known there are going to be rabbit holes in this game. We simply haven't seen them yet, but my guess is those rabbit holes are going to be things like probably work and school. Hey look, here come our friends again coming down the street. Now she's at home, and she wants to make a new friend and wants to decorate the home. But again, let's see what those social interactions are. As you can see here, she begins having different things. Now obviously there's the fun category, which I'm guessing indicates that they're having fun in the conversation. But what's interesting is you can see options here. Offer something to eat because they're at home. Apologize about my house because the house is messy, and they become friends. Considering probably that your friendly section is high enough, they can become friends. But I love that conversations can be specific, not only to your personality, but where you are. That's really good. It's nice to have that detail of being able to ask characters about stuff based off where you are at right now. And that adds that extra part of detail that we all love in this community. And again, it just shows off how we decorate the homes, which is really interesting. I like seeing all the little things here. What's interesting is, again, also with that whole system, you can upgrade your personality. So let's see what happens when you do that. My guess is that comes with fulfilling wants. You can see you got multiple vibes, but also skills that come with it. Now, here's what she can do. She is serious, so she can select 2 vibes that each have benefits of their own way. She can become studious, which allows her to improve all of her skills 20% faster, or she can be a hard worker, which means she has a 20% chance of getting another job upgrade point, or aka promotion, which I really like that ability to be able to select. Basically, it's like, you're very basic right now, let's make you more complex. Here's the gym, which honestly, this gym looks awesome. I freaking love this. Well, what's interesting is, again, that interaction with their environment. Look, she sees a cute guy, and she reacts like that. My guess is I'm hoping that is a way of an attractive system where your para might react to seeing someone they like. Now she's talking to this Carl guy. And even better, I think we're being introduced more and more to the townies we're going to see around town. And they're working out together. But this might flourish. Here's what interesting thing comes in. There are multiple aspects to your para folks' relationships. She can flirt, but there's a 25% chance it will succeed. That's low. She can ask for training tips, help her get better at fitness, but she can also develop a secret crush. He doesn't have to know. And I love that, like one-sided relationships. Like, it could be like, I'll make you my enemy. You don't know I'm your enemy, but like, I like that ability to have it be like, oh, I have a secret crush. He knows nothing about it, but I do. And I'm hoping that it could be like, if you do select that, you can go to other pairs and be like, hey, I have a secret crush on Carl here. Like, ooh, and it's like really cool. I like it. I really like that. It's a very unique detail, and it's really good. Even better is there's those tabs up top. Just like the Sims where you have multiple tabs to tell us about our Sim, they have multiple tabs to tell us about our para. This one being friendship, and we can see there's multiple parts to it. For example, Erica. She likes guitar too, so that's a benefit. We're friends, that's a benefit. She's my neighbor, that's a benefit. But we can also see other paras like Maggie, and is Sebastian on here? I can't see Sebastian, but we can see Marvin. But it's cool seeing all these paras that she knows. When you click on others, you'll find out more information, but each one can be different in its own way. For example, look what Carl is. We have a secret crush, he's just an acquaintance, and he actually used to be a classmate of ours. I love those details that might affect your relationships. I wonder if there'll be things like enemy or like awkward encounter, things like that, which really makes me happy. Again, you can use your skills to impress others. Like, look at me, I'm playing the guitar. Isn't that cool? It's like using other things that your para has to show off that they're good. And you can even see some surprises. Like, they've talked about this before. I'll tell you one in a second, but you can see here Carl says, I work at the high school, and we're looking for a music teacher. Would you like to follow that job and follow your passion? You can say, yes, because she's serious. You can do, absolutely, to make more friendship, or, nah, I don't want to. What's interesting is I remember them talking about, Alex and the development team, talking about a unique idea that they also thought about, where other things might come up, where a parent might say, look, my sink is broken at home, and I have nobody to fix it, where your parent could go and maybe stay for tea or something. Even better is, again, seeing your para react to the world around them. When they select absolutely, you can see the parent go like, oh, yay! Like, she's like, whoa, I can't believe it. Like, you can see her be happy. I think it's an improvement on what the Sims did with their emotional states, where paras are less to be like, I'm always happy. It's more like they'll react to the Carmel and be like, oh, awesome. Things like that. We're back at this coffee shop, which honestly, I want to sit down in this coffee shop and just do homework. It's so cozy. But again, here's where it comes back up. We can see that she's flirty. We can joke about work like, haha, this is the coffee shop I work at. We can talk about the guitar, but you can see over time, her flirts have become more positive. So now she can go, I want to compliment his hair, and has a 75% chance of succeeding. And look, it said success. So we know that she's immediately going to do well. And lastly, here's the next part. We can see it come up again. Now we got first kiss. We can confess that crush, but we can also have a 33% chance for first kiss. And it succeeds, showing off a romantic relationship just to end off the video. And oh boy, was this a strong one. Not only is that, but this is what they decided to surprise us with in the end. Wait right here. The game is being early access released in 2025. With bugs and missing features, but that's to be expected. They've talked about this before, but Paralives will not have any paid DLCs. All stuff will be put in through free updates accessible to everyone. And honestly, I love that. I love that they're making this game what it should be. And honestly, Sims, you have 2 competitors, Life by You and Paralives, and both look really good. And they definitely have great opportunities for fun. But yeah, that's Paralives. Thank you guys for watching the video. I'm really excited for Paralives. Can you tell? I literally have been watching this game ever since 2019. I've been one of the first people to find out, and I want this game, and I cannot wait for it. There will be videos on the channel of me playing this game, and I want to get my hands on it. But please, like the video so more people can see this, and subscribe to my channel. I want more people to find out about Paralives. I want the world to know what the word Paralives even means. This game is so exciting, and it's so different from what we've been seeing with a lot of AAA game companies. So please, share this video. I want more people to see this. But thank you guys for watching. Please, have a great day. I've been in a better mood lately, and, well, I want to say, love y'all. You all have gotten me through some rough times, and I'm just really excited and really having a good time, especially with all the support I've been giving. Please go also check out my other channel, Garrett, my main channel. It's just where I do stuff that isn't Sims related, or in this case, I'm guessing Garrett Callisims is going to be more of life simulators rather than just Sims. But you know what I mean. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!